Oh, okay, sorry. Actually, I couldn't decide what to read, so I just shut my eyes and opened up the book, and I'm reading the page that I came to. The insomniac nights led to another problem. Those interrupted sleeps vivified the longings that he thought he had learned to suppress. These were the nights Billy's buoyant imagination was set loose. He'd rise to the ceiling and he'd look down on himself in bed, wondering painfully what it would be like to have a partner to sleep beside him. Some woman to lay a hand against him lightly, allowing a single finger to trace the alphabet of her spine. He became convinced this contact, feeling the rhythm of a woman's body breathing, would have returned him to the sanctuary of dreams. Lover or just friend, it didn't matter. One night he had a strange dream, stranger than others, in a sleep jammed with dreams. Billy was very astute at handling dreams. He could induce lucid dreaming and, if necessary, avoid returning to an uninterrupted nightmare. The only dreams he could not control were those that occurred within the actual room where he slept, stripping him of the ability to distinguish his surroundings. They were invariably frightening. His strange dream belonged to this category, which gave each distressing detail the luminescent authority of real time. A raven landed on the ledge of his large window. Everything was the same in his room as the moment he had turned on the reading lamp. The fluorescent lights were on in the office across the street, and Billy could even make out his favorite sweatshirt as he had left it, crumbled on the footstool. The black bird hopped about a bit on the ledge. It was old. Billy intuited that its beak, oh, I'm sorry. It was old, Billy intuited. Its beak mangled and wings frayed. Now see what Jim would do if he made a mistake there? He would tell you for 15 minutes why that mistake occurred. The blackbird had its beak mangled and wings frayed. Then it began speaking. The voice was familiar to Billy, but he couldn't place it. You have to retrace your steps and see how you got where you are. The bird said it very sarcastically, which I might add is a pretty pathetic situation. Get away from here, Billy said casually to the bird, which had ceased hopping and stood in place, thrusting its beak through the open window and into the room. Listen, this can be easy or difficult, but I don't come and go at your bidding. It's quite the opposite, in fact. The sarcasm had gone, and the raven was now very erudite in its tone. What do you want? Billy asked. The dialogue in his dreams was always very terse. I think you know that, but I'm perfectly willing to spell it out for you if it helps you with your dilemma. The raven was beginning to slowly raise his wings, as if he were planning to leave when it finished speaking. The problem is simple. Sacrifices and evasions and repressions have taken their toll. They manifested themselves the night at the Metropolitan Museum when you saw something in Velázquez that a few select painters have never recognized. Actually, it was that only a few select painters have recognized. Because how could a few select painters never recognized? I myself could take 15 minutes as well. Sorry. His paintings possessed such a flawless technique that he created a religion out of his art. You too have tried to reach God through art. If you had retraced your memories, retrace them, if you had done that, well, do it now. Retrace your memories. It can be easy or very difficult. Don't be a rationalist and make me take you by the hand through every step. Open your heart. I know that phrase is a cliche, but it wasn't when it was first used. When was that? Billy inquired. And who said it first? You have no idea how long ago. The raven's voice lingered as he flew off. Besides, why do you assume that it wasn't me? Still in bed, Billy raised his head and called out for the raven. For all his usual proficiency at manipulating sleep, Billy had never experienced such a unique, vibrant dreamscape, which he perceived with startling and unprecedented clarity. He was also extremely perplexed, and the sheets in his bed were drenched in sweat. Though the confrontation with the bird had occurred in his own bed during real time, Billy felt no fear that the scraggly creature intended to harm him. At first, the black bird only seemed an annoying intruder, like an unwanted visitor during dinner. Now the thought that it wouldn't return was unbearable. Billy ran to the window, screaming for the bird to explain what he had said in the dream, if indeed it had been a dream. After all, the rooms hadn't changed, and there was no frayed tiny feathers or any signs of its presence on the ledge. Still the vibrant and unique light remained as Billy continued to call out, but the raven was gone.